Why do human beings dance? From Paleolithic cave paintings to TikTok choreography, dance has been a constant presence in our species' story. It crosses every culture, every era, every stage of life. Yet beyond aesthetics and entertainment, dance seems to carry a deeper weight. It bonds communities, cements relationships, communicates emotion, and at times even transforms conflict into ritualized movement. This article proposes a new model, that dance is not only art or ritual, but also an embodied expression of human relationships themselves. Just as Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky demonstrated that our minds operate through unconscious systems of fast and slow thinking, dance may reveal another unconscious system, a social unconscious that encodes the fundamental categories of human connection. In this view, different dance forms represent archetypal relationship patterns. Tango embodies the tension and intimacy of a passionate partnership. The waltz reflects measured harmony and steady companionship. The two-step captures camaraderie and teamwork. Other forms, from the Maori haka to the communal circle dances of Europe and Africa, express adversarial strength, collective unity, or civic belonging. To illustrate this theory, we present a taxonomy of relationships mapped to dance archetypes, a structured framework that makes visible what has always been enacted in motion. Carl Gustav Jung introduced the concept of the collective unconscious in the early 20th century, describing it as a shared psychological substrate that shapes human experience across time and culture. Jung's insight was that human beings do not invent their symbolic worlds from scratch, rather we inherit archetypal patterns, universal templates that guide how we imagine, relate, and create meaning. In its early formulations, Jung's theory was often received as mystical, but modern psychology has refined it in more grounded terms. Today we can understand the collective unconscious as shorthand for the shared structures of human cognition and behavior, deeply rooted in evolutionary history. Archetypes in this sense are not mystical images but deep relational scripts, recurring ways of organizing experience that emerge in myths, rituals, and everyday interactions. Dance, in this framework, becomes one of the most visible and enduring ways these archetypes manifest. Where myths tell the story in words, dances tell it through the body. The second foundation of this model comes from the idea that relationships themselves can be classified systematically. Just as biology organizes living organisms into domains, kingdoms, and species, we can imagine a taxonomy of human relationships, from kinship and partnership to friendship, professional ties, and adversarial dynamics. Relationships are diverse and fluid, but they are not random. Anthropologists, sociologists, and psychologists have long recognized recurring relational categories: parent-child bonds, spousal partnerships, alliances among peers, hierarchical authority, transactional exchanges, collective belonging. Each of these categories can be broken down into finer distinctions, producing a structured tree of relational types. Anthropological evidence supports this link. Across cultures, dance consistently serves as a way of enacting relationships. Kinship dances celebrate family bonds and life transitions. Wedding dances, lullabies in motion. Partnership dances dramatize intimacy, tension, and coordination. Tango, waltz. Friendship and community dances promote group cohesion. Line dances, hip-hop circles. Adversarial dances transform conflict into ritualized display. Haka, breakdance battles. Social psychology adds further grounding. Research shows that synchronized movement fosters trust, empathy, and bonding, mediated by neurochemical processes such as oxytocin release. Dance is not only metaphorical but also functional. It strengthens the very relationships it represents. The core proposition of this model is simple but powerful. Dances are embodied archetypes of human relationship types. Just as language gives symbolic form to thought, dance gives symbolic form to relational structure. Each category of relationship, kinship, partnership, friendship, professional, transactional, adversarial, and collective, finds expression in characteristic dance patterns. By overlaying a taxonomy of relationships onto examples of cultural dance, we can begin to see dance as a taxonomy in motion, a physical enactment of the social unconscious. Kinship, nurturing and continuity. Rocking or lullaby dances. Swaying, cradling, and rocking gestures mirror parent-child attunement. Family circle dances. From the Jewish hora to Mediterranean folk circles, kinship is embodied in inclusive closed-loop formations. Wedding ritual dances. Kinship transitions. Marriage, alliance, family blending, dramatize continuity. Partnership, intimacy and polarity. Tango, magnetism and polarity, enacting both attraction and resistance. Waltz, flowing circularity representing measured closeness and stability. Rumba/slow dance. Sensuality and emotional resonance where closeness is expressed through fusion. Friendship, camaraderie and equality. Two-step. Casual cooperation and ease. Swing dance. Playful reciprocity and improvisation. Hip-hop freestyle circles. Individuality within community, mutual recognition. Professional hierarchy and structure. Court dances. Minuet, pavani. Ritualized hierarchy and etiquette. Ballroom quickstep or foxtrot. Efficient cooperative execution. Capoeira. Cooperative opposition, disciplined skill. Transactional, exchange and temporality. Square dance/contra dance. Frequent partner changes, role-based exchange. Festival dances. Celebratory exchanges tied to market or seasonal gatherings. Casual party dances. Temporary, one-off engagements. Adversarial, conflict and competition. Maori haka, collective intimidation and power projection. Breakdance battles. Competitive yet rule-governed displays. Stick dances, stylized combat embedded in rhythm. Societal/collective, belonging and transcendence. Circle and chain dances. Unity and equality in collective motion. Sufi whirling, spiritual transcendence and surrender of ego. Flash mobs, modern public enactments of collective identity. In this model, the collective unconscious provides the archetypal patterns, the taxonomy organizes them conceptually, and dance expresses them physically. It is a system where body, psyche, and society converge. Supporting theories and evidence. Cognitive psychology, Kahneman and Tversky. Dance reflects unconscious, System 1 processing, intuitive, automatic, embodied. Moral intuition, Jonathan Haidt. Dance encodes relational and moral intuitions felt first, rationalized later. Anthropology, Mouse and Turner. Mouse, dance as techniques of the body, cultural knowledge in motion. Turner, dance as communitas, dissolving ego into collective unity. Neuroscience, synchrony strengthens empathy. Mirror neurons, oxytocin release builds trust and bonding. DMN activity during dance improvisation links movement to imagination and archetype. Organizational theory. Dance metaphors already pervade leadership and complexity theory. This model formalizes them. Applications, personal development, self-awareness through preferred dance archetypes. Therapy/coaching, using dance metaphors and movement to explore relational dynamics. Organizational development, diagnosing and reshaping team dances of conflict, collaboration, and hierarchy. Cultural analysis, mapping cultural priorities by identifying dominant dance archetypes. Education, teaching relational psychology through experiential dance-based frameworks. Conclusion. Dance has always been part of human life, but we rarely ask why its patterns feel so natural, so resonant, and so universal. By viewing dance through the lens of the collective social unconscious, we see it not as decorative or secondary, but as a primary language of relationship. This perspective reveals that human dances are not arbitrary. They are embodied archetypes of relational structures, enacting the same taxonomy of human connection that underlies our social lives. Dance functions as a taxonomy in motion, a visible physical representation of invisible relational archetypes. Grounded in cognitive psychology, anthropology, and neuroscience, this model suggests that dance is a portal into the unconscious grammars of human connection. It does not merely symbolize relationships, it enacts them, strengthening and transmitting them across time and culture. Like Kahneman's System 1 and System 2, this framework should be seen as an invitation to inquiry. By studying dance, we study ourselves, not just as thinkers or talkers, but as relational beings whose bodies have always spoken the language of intimacy, rivalry, solidarity, and belonging. This is now a full professional draft, refined for video publication, complete with intro, theory, model, evidence, applications, and conclusion.